kindergarten. Remember when we used to sit on the carpet in our classroom? Well, I just thought, I'm kind of tired of sitting at my dining room table, so I thought I'd bring math down here to the floor today. Kindergarten, would you please go and grab yourself an analog clock? I have my analog clock right here. Now, yesterday, I noticed in my video that when I was showing how the minute hand was going around, I was making it go this way. Silly Miss Stoller. The minute hand does not go this way because then it would be counting down. It would go 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. The minute hand always goes this way. It goes around from the 12, which is always up at the top, to the 1, the 2, the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way back around. Kindergarten, what is the biggest number we have on our analog clock? That would be the number 12. What's the smallest number we have on an analog clock? That's the number 1. We start at the number 12 and we go all the way around this way until we're back up at the 12 again. Kindergarten, do you know how many hours are in one whole day? That would be 24 hours. Do you remember how we said we can do an hour on a clock? Excuse me again. Every minute, the minute hand moves just a little bit. And do you know how many times it has to move so it can go all the way around? It has to move 60 times. That's 60 minutes before the minute hand goes all the way around. So, if we look at my clock and my minute hand starts moving around, remember, it doesn't go this fast. Do you remember when we saw how long it took for a minute to happen? So like if we were waiting for a minute, this is how much it would move after a minute. About like that. Another minute. About like that. That's not very much, is it? Not very much at all. It has to go all the way around, and then that is 1 whole hour. Now, this time, I'm going to do that again. I want you to watch my hour hand while I make our minute hand go all the way around. Watch what my hour hand does. What's my hour hand doing, that short hand? This one right here. What is that hand doing as the long minute hand moves around? It's moving, so it tells us the new hour. So every hour we have a new hour, and that's how we're telling time. We're telling time to the hour in kindergarten. So what time is this? This is 12 o'clock. Let's see if we can practice some other ones. What time? I'm going very fast with my time. What time is that? That would be 3 o'clock. Remember, we always look at our hour hand, the short hand first, and we say that number, 3. And then our long minute hand always points up to the 12, and that means o'clock. So 3 o'clock. Let's go this way. And our clock always goes this way. This is called clockwise. Clockwise means that it's always going from our little numbers like 1 to our big numbers all the way to 12. Kindergarten, what time is it now? This is 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. Kindergarten, let's play a game. I'm going to take my clock and put it right on over here. And I want you to still hang on to your clock, okay? You hang on to your clock. If you have that clock that you printed out, that is fine. You can use that. And don't glue those hands on. Don't glue on the minute and the hour hands because then you won't be able to move them. You can just arrange them on the clock. Or if you have an analog clock like this one around your house, excuse me again, then you can use this one. Or, like I said, there's that app, something about clocks. I forget what it's called right now, but I sent it to your grown-ups. So you can do that on your grown-up's phone if they're letting you use that, or on a tablet if you have a tablet at home. So what I'm going to do, I have my dry erase board, and I'm going to write a time, and I want you to make that time on your clock. Are you ready? Okay, the first time I'm going to give you. And this week we're only worrying about our analog clocks. Next week we're going to learn a different kind of clock, a different kind of time. Okay, kindergarten. Do you know what time it is? I'll give you a hint. That's not an L. That's a 1. It's 1 o'clock. Can you make 1 o'clock on your clock? Did you get it? All right, get ready because I'm going to give you another time, okay? Kindergarten, can you make this time on your clock? This time. Do you know what time this is? This is 4 o'clock. Can you make 4 o'clock on your clock? 4 o'clock. My hour hand is pointing to the 4, and my minute hand is pointing up to the 12. That means 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock. Are you ready for another one? See if you can make this time on your clock. Do you know what time this is? This is 11 o'clock. You can always pause the video, kindergarten, if I go too fast, and then come and check and see what time I put on my clock. 11 o'clock. My hour hand is pointing to the 11, and my minute hand is pointing to the 12. That means o'clock. So we have 11 o'clock. Let's do one more, okay? Your last time with me, kindergarten, is this time right here. Do you know what this one says? This one says 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. Can you make 8 o'clock on your analog clock? 8 o'clock on our analog clock. My hour hand is pointing to the 8. That's the short hand. And the long minute hand is pointing up to the 12. That means o'clock. 8 o'clock. Kindergarten, you can play this game with your grown-up at home. All you need is like either a dry erase board or, even just a piece of paper. Or your grown-up can just say a time out loud. They can say, make for me 2 o'clock. And then on your clock, you can make 2 o'clock. Something else you can do with your grown-ups is you can make the time and have them guess what time it is. So you could do it like this. Grown-up, tell me what time I made. And then maybe your grown-up says, 7 o'clock? And you'll say, no, silly grown-up. And they'll go, 4 o'clock? And you'll say, no, silly grown-up. And then they'll say, 5 o'clock? And you'll say, you got it. Kindergarten, go practice reading time to the hour on your clocks. And you also have a worksheet to do today too, okay? I'll see you guys next time.